perfect, man. Go on. Oh. Thank you, man.
Oh, the thank yous, the celebrations. New this morning, 5 people were found alive after being stuck in a flooded cave in Laos. They were there for a week. Brand new GoPro video now showing the rescuers reaching them.
Crews are still searching for 2 other people. More new video showing how rescue divers had to navigate narrow tunnels and rising murky floodwaters. The group originally entered the cave looking for gold. So some positive news so far to start out.
Just happened
here Wednesday morning here. Yeah, thanks for being here at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Iranpour. Let's also check in with Evan Narani here this morning to talk about the rain that some people might experience, right?
Yes, some scattered showers to start off the morning. Cloud cover is dense across the entirety of the county, from the coast to our mountains. What we picked up on has mainly been just a few hundredths of an inch. And looks like there's just a few more spots on the map that might squeeze out some remaining really light mist, drizzle, light rain over the next couple hours. Then by the afternoon, we'll be looking toward partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. Temperatures are going to be on the cooler side of average as this low pressure system continues to make its way in. Coming up, we'll take a look at some warmer temperatures on hand by the time the weekend comes about. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Evan. And now this morning, the San Diego Muslim community will gather at the Convention Center for Eid al-Adha prayers.
It comes just a week after 3 men were shot and killed at the Islamic Center of San Diego in what police are calling a hate crime. News 8's Tori Apodaca live at the Convention Center where the first prayer service is about to begin here, just about an hour away here, Tori.
That's exactly right. We're just an hour away from the first prayer service. The Islamic Center of San Diego, though, saying that this prayer will never quite feel the same, as they are just grieving the loss of those 3 men who they are now considering martyrs. Here, though, is a look at what the schedule is going to look like out here at the San Diego Convention Center. You can see that the first prayer begins at 7 this morning with what's called takbirat, which is often expressed through a loud chanting to praise Allah, followed by the prayer at 7:30 a.m. And then the next Eid prayer begins at 9 a.m. These are all happening inside the Exhibit Hall D at the Convention Center. Governor Gavin Newsom posted on X saying, now more than ever, we stand with Muslim Californians, sending best wishes of peace, compassion, and joy. As this community prepares for prayer, a growing memorial still sits in front of the Islamic Center of San Diego, reminders of the attack that terrorized the community last Monday. The faces of Nadir Awad, Manzoor Kazia, and Amin Abdullah are now all surrounded by flowers and signs of solidarity, many left by strangers of all kinds of backgrounds and faiths. The Islamic Center of San Diego says even though their community is dealing with sorrow, they are holding firmly to faith, praying for patience and mercy, believing they will all be reunited one day in eternal peace. And we are expecting to see a very large turnout, so security is top of mind. Again, that first prayer beginning at 7 this morning. Reporting live from outside the Convention Center, Tori Apodaca, News 8.
Tori, thank you so much for that. And now testimony resumes this morning in the Millete murder trial. Maya Milliete's body has never been found, but her husband Larry is charged with her murder. Yesterday's hearing focused on what Chula Vista police found in the home in the days after Maya disappeared back in 2021. They say there was no sign of a struggle, but also no signs that she left on her own. Suitcases, Maya's car, and credit cards were all still there. Police also talked about a letter Maya wrote to Larry 4 months before she vanished, which said, quote, "We are fighting. It's unhealthy. It's toxic. Let me find my peace. I cannot find it with you." Police say searches found on a home computer include how to mentally torture someone and can you track an iPhone if it's on airplane mode. The man accused of driving into his family's home and killing his wife is now being sued by his sons this morning. In December, police say Monica Coates called 911 before officers found her dead inside the home with severe burns. Her son's wrongful death lawsuit claims a restraining order had been issued against Stephen Coates weeks before due to concerns about his mental health. The sons are seeking damages, funeral costs, and the father's share of the home. Coates is in custody facing a murder charge.
This morning, a statewide Amber Alert remains active. A 5-year-old girl from Los Angeles and her suspected kidnapper are still missing.
The car they were last seen in was found here in San Ysidro on Monday night. News 8's Chris Groh live outside of CHP headquarters with all the details on this. Chris, what are police saying?
Yeah, and that white Land Rover that they were last seen driving in was found in a parking garage in San Ysidro. It was initially flagged as being somewhere around the Balboa Park area, but then made its way even further down south. But that's how San Diego Police Department got involved. Take a listen to that radio call going out over dispatch.
All units, update on the Amber Alert with the white Land Rover Discovery Sport 9 David Adam Williams 715. Just be advised that the vehicle has been located 1124. The child and suspect are still outstanding.
And so when our morning team heard that call, we, again, wanted to send our photojournalist down there to see what it is that he could see. Actually spoke with a security guard. Again, this is after police had already found that vehicle in that parking garage. That security guard of the parking garage shared that photo that you just saw, saying that that was Deleza Fregoso and her father, Ruben, walking out of the parking garage where their white Land Rover was found. Ruben is seen in that photo carrying a suitcase and wearing a black hat with gold stitching, a black vest over a white t-shirt, and light wash ripped jeans. Deleza wearing a blue long sleeve shirt and what looks like sweatpants. Now, this is a dangerous situation, not only because, again, Deleza was taken from her home by her father, but the child's mother was found dead inside of her Arlington Heights home. LAPD believes this is a homicide and that Ruben killed the mother and may have fled the country. Anyone who may have noticed them or seen anything in the last couple of days is being asked to call 911, to call the police. Do not approach, as he is considered armed and dangerous. And of course, we will continue to follow this as that search continues. Back to you.
Broderick. Betty Broderick.
Murder or manslaughter. He was telling people I was crazy. I went crazy. I was like this, and you see pictures of me like this.
A La Jolla socialite gunned down her ex-husband and his new wife while they slept in bed.
Everything just came down on me, and I just couldn't stand it another minute.
Convicted killer and former San Diego socialite Betty Broderick died in custody 3 weeks ago at the age of 78. Today at 2:30 p.m., our Stephanie Simmons will be talking with former News 8 reporter who was there on the day of the murders back in 1989. It's the backstory on a case that captivated the nation. You can stream it live for free on the CBS 8 app. Today, the San Diego City Council wants to hear from you about next year's budget priorities. A special public comment meeting on the mayor's budget revision was postponed last week. It is now set to happen at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall.
And now here we are, 6:08 Wednesday morning, a little wet maybe out there on some roads.
Yes.
Depending on where you're at. It was dry on my way in, but yeah, some neighborhoods might
had some puddles in North Park
Okay.
this morning, and we have even picked up on 7/100ths of an inch out toward East County, La Mesa, Santee, all the way toward the mountains. We noticed this morning that totals started coming in above just that typical 1/100th of an inch. That's symptomatic of maybe mist or drizzle, as downtown San Diego saw, for example, only trace amounts. But the farther east we saw that those showers kind of strengthened. So something you might notice as you step out the door this morning. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-60s by the afternoon. For now, we're actually pretty mild overall out toward the water. 60 in Oceanside and Carlsbad, 59 in Del Mar, 57 in El Cajon, and then you get out toward Julian, we're in the 40s. Mount Laguna is a degree away from freezing at 33 degrees. So it's been pretty chilly out there to start off the morning the farther east you are. We do have a wind advisory that is still in effect until 5 a.m. on Thursday morning. So what that means is that from now here on Wednesday morning through Thursday morning, we're expecting wind gusts to climb, especially by this afternoon, all the way through tomorrow morning. It's been kicking up a lot of dust out in East County, which is why we see that gray color moving into Imperial County. What that denotes is an air quality alert, and the reason why is because air quality out in those parts of the southwestern U.S. are under hazardous air quality. So be aware that that fine particulate matter is not actually associated with wildfire smoke for those areas in that hazardous color, but instead just wind-blown dust. Be aware of that if you make your way out in East County, especially if you're a high-profile vehicle. You might notice difficulty driving out across the mountain passes and into our local deserts as those wind gusts climb to 30-plus miles per hour. Seems like a lot of these models start to show that number continuing up to 40 and 50 miles per hour at times. Sending things over to Vanessa Paz, checking in on traffic. Good morning.
Good morning. It looks like we have News 8 up and running. Chopper 8, not News 8. Well, News 8 too, but you know what I mean. This is Chopper 8, a live look on the 125, according to the kind of fleet CAD here. It looks like they're above the 125, passing the 8 freeway. That's why you could actually see, all the intersections that they're passing. Moral of the story, we're in pretty good shape there. It's a little bit of a different story, though, as we look a little more north. That's where we're tracking a crash. This is at Deer Springs Road. Now, if you recall, we had a crash in the same area yesterday at the same time. So it looks like things are backed up once again through Hidden Meadows as you make your way down to Escondido. And right now things are slow all the way to Old Highway 395. So if you take the 15 and you're just tuning in and you're leaving out of the Bonsall, Rainbow, Fallbrook, even Temecula area, you're likely going to encounter slowing. I would say you could opt for the 76, but that's likely going to set you back even longer. Just leave some time for travel because right now speeds through that pocket are down to about 20-25 miles per hour. So, all right, let's go ahead and zoom on out. We are looking at full freeway speed. So once you get past all that activity on the 15 near Hidden Meadows and you eventually get down to Escondido, you're at full freeway speed. So we're in pretty good shape there. No major issues coming in from the East County headed west, about 65, 70 mile per hour speeds on the 8 as well as the 52. And we're in really good shape coming in from the South Bay, and that includes out of neighborhoods like National City as well as Chula Vista. All right, 6:11 is the time, and we got our border wait times working again. So let's go ahead and pull those up. Working, but still really slow. In fact, we're at a crawl right now, over 2 hours to get you across from Otay Mesa's port of entry. And if you're traveling in from San Ysidro's port of entry, not much improvement, still over an hour and a half for that wait time to get you across this morning.